What's up, Rockstars? There's some awesome miniature campaigns going live right now that I want to talk about, so let's just dive right in. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. I'd like to start out with a shout out to my sponsor today's video, GameWorkCreate. As you know, they are a fantastic resource, a fantastic website when it comes to getting printed STL files. So if you don't print, if you still like the STLs, if you have an STL you want them to print, or if you just want a very professionally done thing or you want to save the time, for instance, a big terrain set or something like that, they can handle that for you. They print with exquisite resin and fantastic printers, great quality, good cleanup, great shipping. They are actually doing free shipping on anything over $45, which means if you come onto their website, you go to 3D Art Digital, which has a great Patreon, by the way, and you can get their full release for $65. That means you get all of this printed for you and delivered. You didn't have to do nothing. It's fantastic. And these are big minis. And again, they print it so much better than even I can print. Like, they do a very good job. They are very much professionals about it. Or Halloween's coming up, you want to have a new painting project or an RPG experience, something like that, you can get the Pumpkin Warriors, $11. They have this and so much more. There is a link down in the description below. Go ahead and check them out. Moving on, we have Viking Saga. It says 3 days to go, so it's Ian Lovecraft. If you don't know him, he does a lot of these campaigns. He does very well for himself. This one is all about Vikings, and I must say there is quite a bit, and the price is pretty reasonable too. It's like what is it, $43, $64 for the all-in. So you get, I mean, an entire, it's a plethora. There's so much stuff here. The entire town, from the farm animals to the buildings to the people to the little scatter stuff. I mean, there's so much here that you couldn't go over it in a video like this. It would just take up too much time. So there's a ton there. He also always does sell his previous stuff as well. Let's get past all these stretch goals and whatnot. Again, there's so much stuff, guys, which is great. He has a lot of themed stuff. For instance, I bought the Frostguard stuff. I use that for my Warhammer terrain sets, actually. Very good stuff. Worked out really well on that. But they have a ton of stuff, so feel free to check that out. Again, it's just a few days left on that one. Next up, we have Magic and Mages, a Fantasy City expansion. If you recall, I covered this when it was on my mini factory. It's now on Kickstarter with an expansion. The expansions, everything they didn't unlock before, so you will get it all. Hopefully, I'm assuming that means that the My Mini Factory has been updated to be able to support this as well. So the expansion is some more terrain and I think 2 mages. The mages here, by the way, like this Potion Master and stuff, fantastic stuff. The Avery Master, I mean, again, just such good stuff. Really great looking stuff there. And then, of course, everything else you could want. And again, it's such good detail. And the design of the mages in particular are just, I love it. Like, you really get some mages that seem like, hey, they can like actually do some battle. Like look at this guy. He pretty much has a cowboy hat. It's freaking sweet. It's really good. There's some great stuff here. So yeah, feel free to check that out as well. I'm glad to see them doing quite well. Where are we at on this? $30,000. So quite well on this one as well. And again, the expansion is $14 for all that terrain and the minis. That is a great deal. Next up, we have Snake Maze, amazing 3D printable scenery, $17,000 with only a week left to go. And I must say, this is monolithic. It's insane how much stuff they have here. So it kind of lists a lot of it here and stuff like that on what's going on. But besides these minis, which already look cool and are like from R&E Studio and I think Asgard Rising and a few others, like Monolith Arts, I believe, is that one. So they have a few here, and we might actually see them later. But as you can tell, when they say like snake sewers, I always, when I saw this, like, this is like a maze, right? And it says Snake Maze, right? Because really, this, you could just do so much with this. There's so many ways to do it. But you could come across this like altar where suddenly all these snakes are here and you're like going into another area. You're like, what the heck's going on, right? So they have all of that. It's so much stuff. Just a ton of stuff. It's insane what they have. Then they have this. This is big. This is a stretch goal bridge to the vaults of the old world. Warhammer 40k just released some dwarves, and I mean, this could work for a lot of their terrain, I think. So if you got some Voltans or whatever the heck they're called, and you want to get a game in, this might be something you want to look into. I mean, you could fill a table with this stuff. It's modular enough to be able to do it. So there's just a ton of stuff, and it keeps going. And they have a bajillion other things and terrain sets and whatnot. Great looking stuff. And again, $21. So yeah, not bad at all. Next up, the Shattered Crown, the Lion and the Wolf. I love wolves. I had to give this a shout out. Very interesting though, because if you notice, these are an interesting kind of wolf because they have a very bushy tail. They have some that don't have a bushy tail. I don't know what the difference is really there when it comes to their sculpts, but see, non-bushy tail here. And I was like, why isn't it matching? They have these here. These are like elites or something like that. And then of course they have people riding lions too, because why the heck not? Really, again, some great stuff there. You can see that bushy tail there. I love the basing though, and then their scattered terrain, again, huge. As you can see, you can go into it as well. I really appreciate that. I think that's awesome. See, these wolves have normal tails, so there is that as well. And then of course, all these other really cool mounted units and stuff like that. Just a ton of stuff. Really, a lot of it. And again, you can get one of the armies that for like $21, and if you buy both, you get some savings there. This counts for the weirdest one I've seen. 3D printable keycaps. These are actually the ones that at least look pressable. There are some that look like they would just hurt. Like you've got a whole palm tree coming off your keyboard. It's so weird. Some of it's kind of cool. You definitely some Warhammer stuff there, right? You got some Star Wars stuff. A lot of it is neat. I love these emojis. I would print this off and mount it somewhere perhaps, but can you imagine typing on this? That would be wild. They do some cool stuff though. Previously they did these bookmarks, which I think are pretty neat too. So yeah, they're doing their own thing, and I appreciate that. So that's super cool of Seahorse 3D to do, I think. And yeah, $232 raised. So there's some people that really want these key covers, I guess. All right, next up, Bardic Beatdown, the Battle of the Bands. This just launched, 6,000 raised already from 222 backers, and it keeps going up. This is by Twin Goddess Miniatures. They do fantastic miniatures. I love their work. I was a patron of theirs for quite some time, and I love the little blue renders they do too. But their minis are really high quality. I really like their style as well. This is like a whole board game though you could technically play. So you get, of course, just a fun painting project if nothing else, even the props and stuff like that. But you also get actual maps and rules and stuff like that to be able to play in it. And again, it just looks fun. And then, of course, they have, the Tainted Mithril and the Iron Maidens and Aerosmith, right? And all this kind of stuff. And then they have a few unlocked ones you can get, like Flayer and whatnot. So it looks like a lot of fun to me. I think that's super cool. And again, if you just want the digital stuff, again, $25 and you get that. So great deal there as well. RPG Adventures. This one is huge. 3,800, so it's actually kind of just starting to gain some traction here. Less than a week to go, but they have a ton of different minis. I mean, a huge amount. So all these different warriors and just dragons and a ton of stuff, just a ton. And yeah, the scroll on this bar is the longest of all of them. There's so much stuff here. Lost Souls 2. This was first one, obviously, and it's the 2 that I covered a while back, and they're back now with the second one, 6,000 raised by only 94 backers, so people are getting all of it. I'm assuming a lot of merchant stuff as well. Still a week to go on this, 32 millimeters, so it fits with pretty much anything. I honestly think these renders look a little flat. I think the color of it's a little flat. I'm going to go on and actually scroll past these to the printed miniatures, and I'll kind of show you what I mean, because I think the printed ones look better. I really think they do. So here's the printed minis, and as you can see, I think they look great. This guy here, I think he looks really awesome here. He's actually right here, and I think he looks really flat here. It's very hard to see all the detail, right? It just kind of all blends into me. But when I see him like this, I can really see just how great these minis really are. And again, very unique design, of course, as well. Look at those wings. Look how awesome that looks. Oh, it's great. So yeah, some super cool stuff there. Definitely you could accent any Lord of the Rings stuff with it perhaps, or you just do a D&D session. There's all sorts of uses for these kind of minis, and I think it looks awesome. It's super, super cool. 70 plus new ones, so a ton. Next up, we have Nadira, the Desert Rose. This is by Atlas, who obviously are well known for their supports and stuff like that, and like they do really good. Atlas 3DSS, I believe is the full name, as they say right here. This is essentially a fox gypsy lady. This actually reminds me, I printed this a while ago. I haven't based her yet, but you can see it kind of reminds me of this. I really like gypsies. Like, I like the idea of all the colors, like for a painting project. I think it'd be a lot of fun to paint all the different silks and embroideries and stuff like that. And they're normally very dynamic in their movement and their dancing and stuff. This is no different. Plus that base is freaking bomb. It's like, it's really good. And they actually have a diorama as well. You can kind of see it kind of colored there to give a little idea of it. But yeah, no, this looks really good. 4,000 raised. And again, $15. $15, guys. Come on. That for a quality mini like this, like a display mini, fantastic. Secret Forge Vault Rising Tides, 3,000 from 114 backers, though I think this is going to raise because this actually looks like quality. So it was 2 weeks to go. So it's by Secret Forge here. They're offering a little Asgard Rising, a little freebie, right? You got to do it with freebie. But honestly, I think the print looks better than this even. Like, the prints look really good. It's one of those things where I think, again, the renders don't quite look as good. I mean, they look fine. And I'm not sure what it is. Like, I love, but this guy gives me some Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld stuff going on here a little bit with kind of the design of him. I love it, though. He's got like all these axes and knives in his tentacles and stuff. Great stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual printed minis, though, because again, like, I think that looks great. I love the base, by the way. It's super duper cool. Like, he just looks awesome. Looks like a lot of fun. There's the shark. Again, very, very cool. Very unique. I dig that. And again, not bad at all. 12 bucks, guys. 12 bucks and you get one of them. So even cheaper than some of the other ones I've shown. And then finally, Spirit of the Force. This is the little one, but I love like the mushroom hat. I love the mushroom theme. Again, painting those are fun. And again, 10 bucks. 10 bucks. You get the super cool 16 millimeter base. It's a bigger mini already by default. She's got the cool hat, right? I love that she still has hair. Her staff has mushrooms growing on it. She's sitting on mushrooms. It's just super cool design-wise, and I really do dig it. Guys, that is it. That's what I'm looking at anyway as far as campaigns. If there's one I missed or one I need to take a look at, feel free to let us all know down in the comments below. And as always, again, check out GameWorkCreate. They will print any of these off for you beautifully, so you don't even have to bother with it. Definitely recommended. For that, take care. Have a great day. Bye, guys.